Wahgwaaaan Fam, you don't know by the title what we will be making today. So this is the 2 meat I'll be using. Fast forward, right? So I started to prep my work area where I washed the sink after washing some dishes. And whether you season your meat in a container or in the sink, as I've seen some people season in the sink, I don't normally do that way, but that's okay. So I wash my sink always, and I decided to prep my meat. I used paprika and other seasonings that I normally use, but you'll see the description of everything that I used. Alright, so I decided to make a simple salad. I had some purple head lettuce, some tomatoes, and avocado. So I started by washing my vegetables, and then I cut them into smaller pieces, preferred sizes. And yeah, you can go ahead and add whatever dressing you want, but I had this with no dressing. I preferred it that way, but I normally have salads that I hardly eat with blue cheese or sometimes ranch. I prefer it with blue cheese because blue cheese is really good. So I washed that, prepped it, and that was my salad. Funny story behind avocados, guys. I did not like avocados until like 2 weeks ago where I had it in some tacos in guacamole form, and since that I kind of digged it, but I think it really complements the salad well. My mom loves avocado, so that's why I really did it, but I think I do like it now. So fast forward. All right, so I got some flour. I put some cornstarch, which helps with the crunch. I never used breadcrumbs this time. I don't always use breadcrumbs, but I used cornstarch for the perfect crunch on the outside. And I also seasoned with chicken seasoning. I don't use a lot of salt because the Slap Your Mama and Old Bay already has salt content in them. So this is what I used for my fried chicken batter. I never made a wet batter. Again, that was just a preference. You can go ahead and do it however you like, but this is a really good recipe that I do in fact enjoy every time I do my fried chicken. So yeah, guys, so I had some drumsticks, and this is just to show what I did before I went ahead and fried them. And here we have our scrimp. All right, so as always, I will have a description of everything that I used to season it. All right, so this is already washed, deshelled, and deveined. I left the tails on. I like the tails on. How about you? All right, so I seasoned. I didn't use too much because shrimp has its natural flavor, and you don't want to have other ingredients dominating that natural seafoody, that natural taste of the meat. So I lightly seasoned it. What the most of the flavor will be in is the sauce that I will be cooking them in. You'll see that later on, but yeah. Yes, fam, on to frying our chicken. And yes, we drain the bottle, get everything out that bottle. Waste no food 2020, right? So I had this over medium to high heat. I didn't want it to be not hot enough or too hot, so I judged it in about that range. Once I had my chicken coated and dusted, not too much flour because I didn't want a heavy coating on the chicken, I added 5 drums and I continued turning them for them to not get too dark but to take its time to cook on each side, so it could be cooked thoroughly. So I added 5 drums and I did just that. You'll see as we go on later down in the video. But yeah, that's my method of frying chicken. If I'm not using a deep fryer or the air fryer, I tend to turn it a lot. It's just how I fry chicken, and if you do it another way, let me know how you do it and how it works out for you. And onto our curry we go. So I added a little oil in a pan, added my curry powder. I burnt my curry. In other words, I cooked my curry. If it's not cooked, you will get a tummy ache, which is what I learned. I'm not sure if that's true because I've never really experienced that because I always cook my curry. So I did my coconut milk. Yes, it does solidify once you put it in the fridge. So I had some of this in the fridge and I used it in my curry sauce. And after this, I added some thyme, covered the pot and allowed it to cook a little bit, as you are supposed to allow your coconut milk to cook before you go ahead and, you know, finish up your dish. More coconut milk. I wanted more coconut milk, so I used it a little bit more. You don't have to use this much. You can use more than this. You can use a whole can. It depends on the amount of shrimp you are doing. So yeah, you will see as the video proceeds how it springs water. The shrimp naturally springs its own water into this once, and also the water is produced by the steam once you cover the pot up, so you do not have to add any stock or anything to it, as you know, it will spring its own water. So don't worry about it having too much sauce or gravy, as I would say. You could use it in the morning over grits or something, or you could save it for, you know, with some of the shrimp, being that it's a lot, for some rice or, you know, anything in the near future. So yeah. And here we have it, fam, or shrimps process. I would say this is about a solid minute and a half basketball time. Yes, so as you can see, it looks as though some is getting pretty nearer to the to being cooked stage more than some, but not to worry guys, none of these were overcooked. It all got done cooking at the same time. Added my seasonings right there and then, being that shrimp does not at all take a long time to cook. Once it gets pink, it is done. After this, reduced my heat, covered my pot and allowed that to cook on its own sweet time. In a few minutes we will be done. Yes guys, I don't really know how you time shrimp. This is like just a few seconds later. I don't know, that's how we taste food in our palm, the Jamaican way. Yes, sir. Added some parsley for garnish, and here you have our beautiful, beautiful shrimp, curried shrimp. So good, so delicious, so juicy. And the shrimp with the tail on, guys, is an experience. If you like, your shrimp that way, trust me, that's the best way to have it, in my opinion. That is, I hope you guys try this recipe. It is so good. Yes, guys, look at that gorgeousness. And we have our shrimp done here, or chicken done. I also did some rice on the side, and we have our salad all done. Now it's time to plate. Yes, guys, as I always say, if you got to this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, you are always appreciated. Follow my Instagram at chef.amortai or T's Kitchen. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Leave a comment with any suggestions that you do have. And this is a pic of what I use with these shrimp the day after. Thank you so much, guys.